Hello. Here's my TED Talk. Here I go. How many of you know your purpose in life or the meaning of life? It's okay if you don't, but by the end, I hope that you have started to articulate an idea. To start off with myself, you know, growing up and getting closer to 10th grade, I would think, what career is right for me? Like, I had no idea what I was going to do with my life. I came to a complete stop. Every day, I would just go through the motions, not actually living, kind of at like a foggy state of mind. Kind of when it snows outside and, you're in your car and you got the heat blasting. And you get that condensation on your windshield and you're trying to look out the windshield to drive. That's what it basically felt like. I would wake up at 5:45, get ready for school, go to school, do my work at school, come home, do my homework, and then if I have time, hop on the video game I mean, eat dinner, and then go to sleep. Sounds fun, right? I felt the unbearable need to do something with myself. Something productive. Learn to play an instrument that I've been wanting to play, read a book, draw a cool picture, craft a new skill. So, I got a job. Worked there for about a month or two, but I still felt that, first of all, that job was not for me. And second of all, I felt that I was still missing something that I had no idea of. But deep down in me, I knew something was missing. Now, I don't want to believe it, but when I was asked to do this TED Talk, I can no longer deny that everything happens for a reason. Earlier this year, about October probably, my cousin and his girlfriend introduced me to this book called The Celestine Prophecy. And they said that I should read this book. But with myself, I have the memory of a tree. So I end up forgetting a lot of things, and I ended up forgetting the book. So fast forward about a month before my TED Talk, and I was at my house, cleaning out the bookshelf, and I ended up coming across the book, The Celestine Prophecy. I was surprised because I didn't even know that my family owned the book. So I went on it to read it, and I completely immersed myself within it. I came across a line from the book, shall I say. The author's name is James Renfield, so when I refer to him, you know. So here's the quote. And I quote, "How many people do you know who are obsessed with their work, who are type A, or have stress-related disease, and who can't slow down? They can't slow down because they use their routine to distract themselves, to reduce life to its only practical considerations. And they do this to avoid feeling uncertain. They are about why they live. How uncertain they are about why they live. My bad." End quote. The reason it spoke to me was because that's literally what I did. I tried to make life to as simple as things. Basically trying to fill up my day so I don't really have to think about stuff. It spoke to me. The book spoke to me. And I have a theory. And my theory is that the meaning of life is one or two things. Number one, whatever you want it to be. Or number two, there is no meaning to life. And I have a quote from the late British philosopher, writer, and speaker, Alan Watts. Alan Watts said, and I quote, "It is so plain and so obvious and so simple, and yet everybody rushes around in great panic as if it were necessary to achieve something beyond themselves." End quote. Now I'm going to go and attempt to break this down for you guys. In my own words. He said, and I quote, "The meaning of life is just to be alive." End quote. And, I feel he believes life in a sense has no big reason, and basically, it is whatever you want to believe it is. You could be a teacher, spreading knowledge, working with animals and natures, helping them out. Writing books, about anything that interests you. You should do anything that interests you. You don't want to live with regrets. Or you could just make music, just to name a few. Whatever makes you happy and, whatever you strive for, you can have a big impact in the world or a small one. But in my opinion, they're all worth the same. It's individually what they value that thing is. If the big person values it, then he values it. And if the little person values it, he or she values it. That's what they value. They value what they did, what they contributed. It's up to the person to decide how much they value that. And I would wholeheartedly believe now, the way society is set up now is that everybody wants to get recognition for what they did. I'm going to show you another quote that pertains to this discussion. And I quote, "Life has no meaning. Each of us has meaning. We bring it into life. It is a waste to be asking the question when you are the answer." That's from the famous professor and book writer, Joseph Campbell. That quote basically says that we are the meaning of life. We bring the meaning to life, not the other way around. In my opinion, on what the meaning of life is, to produce and give positivity back into the world, and leave a positive impact in the world. Whether that be in your family or in your community, in your city or in your state, in the country, or even in the world. It's up to you. Like I previously said, big or small impact, they all equal the same. And another thing is happiness. If you live your life not happy, then in my opinion, you wasted your life. Because there's no such thing as a bad life. It's what you make out of it. Now what you think your purpose is in life is whatever you strive for. Back to happiness. It's whatever makes you happy. Here's another quote. An author and spiritual master Emmett Ray said, and I quote, "It does not matter how long you are spending on earth, how much money you gathered, or how much money you have received. It is the amount of positive vibrations you have radiated in that life, that matters. In life that matters, my bad." End quote. If you die with no regrets, then you have lived a splendid life and you fulfilled your life purpose. Just know that I hope you find your meaning. And I hope your purpose in life is whatever you want it to be. Just be happy. That's the main thing. Be happy. And while doing this and gathering research, I found my meaning, and I hope you have too. Thank you.